Hello, this is Dr. J, back with some more Let's Play Command and Conquer. We are back to GDI, and strap yourselves in, because we're going to be with GDI for a good long while before we switch back to Nod. Here we've got 3 different mission choices. Now this is interesting, and this is the only place in the game where this happens. Depending on which branch you take here, you're going to get different choices for the next mission. These 2 branches lead to one set of choices, and then this branch leads to a different set of choices. And then they link back up again, and that sort of double branching never happens again. One other thing to note before we proceed, both of these follow-up branches are going to lead to 2 missions. However, one of those missions is identical in each. So although there's going to be 4 total branches that come up after these missions, there's actually only 3 unique missions, and I'm not going to do a completely identical mission twice. So we will just be doing the 3 unique ones and not all 4 branches, including the duplicate. Anyway, that's enough rambling, so let's jump into the next mission.
Sanctioned by the United Nations, the Global Defense Initiative has one goal: eliminate multinational terrorism in an effort to preserve The Brotherhood of Nod, an ancient and secret society, maintains strong ties with most global terrorist organizations. Commanded by this man, known only as Kane, Nod's long-term goals are unknown. However, recent activities include expansionary behavior into disenfranchised nations, high-volume investment in global trade markets, and aggressive manipulation of international mass media. These efforts are suspected to be funded by Nod's access to vast Tiberium deposits. Tiberium continues to confound the scientific community, soaking up ground minerals and soil nutrients like a sponge. The end result of this unique leaching process creates the formation of Tiberium crystals, rich in precious metals and available for collection with a minimum of mining expense.
Delta Sierra Echo to Commander, approaching our next objective. We're just crossing the Belarus border and we've got a problem. Nod ambushed one of our convoys and made off with a good supply of activated pellet rods. Sounds harmless, right? Well, those rods are step 1 in slapping together a nuclear device. We gotta get him back. Shepard's still offline, so we're acting without confirmation, but I'm betting that this is too important to wait. Take a small force into the Noddy camp and get those rods back before their birds can pick them up. The rods were packed in transport crates. I doubt Nod's had time to transfer them, but who knows. Keep your eyes open. Give him hell.
Okay, a couple things to note about that briefing before we dive into this mission. We got a bunch of backstory, background info, but nothing really new there about GDI, Nod, and Tiberium. That's pretty much stuff that we already know at this point. Then, because General Shepard, if you recall, he said that he was going to be out of the loop doing civvy time with the UN. Because he's not around, we were given our mission briefing by Colonel Morelli, a GDI pilot. She's sort of a minor character in the GDI campaign. I think, aside from the variations of this mission that we're doing right now, we only see her one more time in mission briefings, and she doesn't even have a speaking role the next time we see her, if I remember correctly. But the sort of implication is that Colonel Morelli is the one in charge of the airstrikes and then later on the other aircraft that we gain access to. So she's sort of the air commander that we work with throughout the GDI campaign. Also, no, this is... Good lord. I hate having to shout over the really loud, aggressive music. Okay, final thing to note is in the last Nod mission, we stole a nuclear detonator, and here in this GDI mission, we are trying to retrieve nuclear materials that were stolen by Nod. So that's why I said this was a good point for the narrative switch. This is basically revolving around a cat and mouse, or not cat and mouse, that's not quite right, but give and take between GDI and Nod fighting over nuclear components and trying to steal them from each other. That is going to become relevant very, very much later in the campaign at the very end. Okay, well anyway, let's actually do some gameplay, shall we?
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Oh, we are attacked by some Nod buggies. Let's take care of them. Okay, run away, Humvee. You are no match for those rocket troops. Okay, so this mission is introducing us to, I mean, we've already seen it in earlier missions, but this is kind of introducing us to the idea that you don't want to move infantry over Tiberium because they take damage. And so we've been given APCs so that we can move our infantry across the Tiberium without them getting damaged. And in fact, if we look at the text version of the briefing, it even says that. Use the new APC to strategically transport infantry through Nod forces, but honestly, more relevant is use it to strategically transport infantry across Tiberium. Now, in the sequel, or rather, pseudo-prequel to this game, Red Alert, you can select multiple infantry and put them all in an APC at once, but in this game, you have to do them one at a time. Anyway, after loading up our APCs, we then move across the Tiberium, and our infantry will take no damage from it. Huzzah. A sneaky rocket soldier trying to come up behind us. This is another pre-deployed mission, which means, once again, if we just happen to go the wrong way and run into a bunch of enemy forces, then we'll get wrecked and have to restart and choose a different way. As we've already covered, it's maybe a little bit of questionable mission design to have it work that way, but not a big deal.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Now, if I remember correctly, unlike the Nod missions where we have to retrieve nuclear crates, in this one we don't have to go to an evac point after we get the crate. We just move onto the crate and the mission ends successfully. Which is a little strange. Okay, we had better unload our AP. I said unload. You too, I wasn't kidding. I'm not just giving orders for fun. Okay. We are definitely taking losses here. There are Nod infantry everywhere, including anti-vehicle infantry, the Rocketeers, which have been doing a number on our vehicles. Another thing that makes the Grenadiers not as good is it provokes the enemy into doing micro and dodging the grenades. I think it's specifically programmed to do that because the grenades are slow projectiles, which means the enemy will try to dodge them. Okay, that is a major problem because that tank could try to squish us, and that could really cause issues. But if we just drive onto the crate, we successfully complete the mission.
War-torn Bialystok.
I'm actually going to save that post-mission video because it's going to make a lot more sense after the last variation of this mission. It doesn't make nearly as much sense watching it after this one. Alright, well, I will rejoin you for the next variation of this mission in just a moment. See you shortly. And we're back. I hope you guys appreciate everything that I do for you. I've had the game crash on me a couple of times while switching missions like this. I'm just kidding, of course. I am absolutely loving replaying this old classic, so everything's good times.
Still.
Now, this is the same mission as the one we just did, just a different map. That's why I skipped the briefings. Nothing new to see here. And I assume we're about to get attacked. Yes.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Not a problem.
So yeah, same force composition, same objectives, same concepts. Once again, introducing us to Tiberium and using APCs to ferry your infantry across Tiberium. Just a different map layout this time. We are going to want to remember to save our mission at the end of this one, because, as I said, we actually get different follow-up choices if we do this easternmost mission compared to either of the western missions. So we are going to need 2 separate saves in order to access all the branches following these missions. So let's try not to forget.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Unit affirmative. Unit forwarding. Vehicle affirmative.
I do prefer these versions of the tracks that don't have a bunch of talking in the middle of them. I think that the dialogue in the middle of some of the tracks really is distracting, detracts from the music. So the versions that we are listening to in this version of the game, where there is none of that talking in the middle of the music tracks, I much prefer this. If you haven't heard the other versions, you will have no idea what I'm talking about. We should probably unload our infantry so that we have more firepower. Unfortunate that we lost our Humvee due to the resolution issues that I discussed before. I didn't realize I had the Humvee selected and not one of the APCs, so I was trying to order it to crush an infantry, and Humvees cannot crush infantry, so that didn't work out too well. And then the Humvee got destroyed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Got it.
And our rocket infantry crawling all over the place, looking out for our APCs.
Reporting.
Luckily, the enemies are not doing a very good job of getting out of the way of the fabled squish in this mission. I'm probably going to want to keep... I was just saying, I'm probably going to want to keep one APC out of the line of fire so we can use it to collect a nuclear crate. Oh, we've got an enemy Chinook coming in to do an infantry drop. Looks like it's doing the drop way behind us, so I don't think we'll need to worry about it. Okay, it's an enemy tank. Hopefully it's not going to squish everybody. Okay, it's not really trying to squish people. It seems more determined to dodge the grenades. Oh, now it's going for the squish. Run! Okay, we've taken a lot of losses. We should be getting close to the Nod base. Alright, let's look for that nuclear crate. Well, our grenadiers hopefully have the enemy rocketeers distracted. No, they don't. Are we going to fail the mission? I think we are. Unless we can sneak this guy around. Oh, are we going to get a sneaky win? Okay, there's our ride out of here. Okay, if we can get the Grenadier onto the crate before he's killed, then we get a sneaky win on the mission. Go, go, go!
Mission.
We did it! That was close. Once again, skip that video because we're going to watch it after the final variation of this mission, which is actually a different objective. So we have 2 missions that are about recapturing a nuclear crate, and then we're about to find out what the middle path is for this particular mission. Once again, see you in just a moment. We're back one more time for the last of the Mission 4 variations. This time we're going to take the final middle path.
Delta Sierra Echo to Commander, approaching next objective. Welcome to the lovely town of Bialystok. Island sight, huh? A ham SOS from here said Nod forces were en route. Haven't reached Shepard, so I can't confirm, but I'm 99% sure Shep would want you to take Bialystok before Nod does. Backup's on the way, but I can't say when it'll get there. You're on point. Give 'em hell.
Alright, so completely different mission this time.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Morelli seemed a little derogatory toward Bialystok. I think it looks like a charming little hamlet. But then I love living out in the country and very much dislike living in crowded urban areas, so...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look at these Noddies just killing these civilians for no good reason. What scum. Let's go save some villagers. Now, I seem to remember that this mission can be pretty tricky, especially if our grenadiers nade ourselves.
Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out.
Okay, we do not want our Humvee taking those rockets to the face. Get out of there, please.
Yes, sir.
Get the Rocketeers. The bazookas. Excuse me, target the bazooka, please. And now, take out the enemy attack bike, or buggy, not bike.
Unit report. Got it. Yes, sir.
I think we need something more heroic than Ride of the Valkyries, which honestly just sounds ironic within the context of Command and Conquer. I don't know if heroic is quite the right word, but let's listen to Death Charge.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Another of the Counter-Strike expansion tracks, which, as I said, I really like them. I find them very atmospheric. Okay, we've taken pretty heavy losses getting this far, but I think we're close to the village now.
Yes, sir. Waiting orders. You got it. Waiting orders. You got it.
Here are the outskirts.
Right away, sir.
More Noddies crawling around looking for innocent civilians to kill. We'll put a stop to this.
Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, affirmative. Moving out.
Let's get in there and help them out.
Yes, sir.
Reinforcements have arrived.
We get some timely reinforcements.
Unit reporting.
A couple of Humvees.
Reinforcements have arrived.
And then, importantly, an APC, which I think is full of Grenadiers. Which is going to be important for taking care of those tanks. Wow, yeah. I remembered correctly. This is a tough mission. Look at all the enemy forces arrayed against us. Okay, unload those Grenadiers. Okay, I need you guys targeting the infantry. That's what you're going to be... Excuse me! I said unload the Grenadiers. I was not kidding around.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, stop! No! Don't drive up right next to the tank. He'll squish you.
Waiting orders.
While we're distracted down here, that buggy up to the north has been blowing up a building. Scumbag. We're a little busy fighting for our lives here, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, he came down to play. Let's take him out. Okay, we need to get this buggy before he kills our Grenadiers, which are our best hope of... Oh my goodness. Look at him kiting us. Yeah, this mission's tough. Oh my gosh, frickin' driver survived. Kill him, please. You guys go deal with the infantry, that's what you're better at.
Yes, sir.
Not so good at dealing with the rocket soldiers, but better them than the tank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think this mission's in the bag. Let's go ahead and make another save. Yeah, this one's intense. You fight a lot of enemy forces.
Not a problem. Yes,
And apparently someone escaped us. We're going to have to comb the map for him.
ready and waiting.
But yeah, if you don't control your forces well,
Acknowledged.
and try to take advantage of the rock, paper, scissors mechanics,
Moving out.
target enemies that are weak to your units, and not vice versa, then you will get wiped out. There he is, that sneaky so-and-so. Let's increase the game speed. We'll send the Grenadiers up there to sort him out.
Unit report acknowledged. Yes, sir. You got it.
Okay.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Still not the last enemy. Nope,
Giving out.
we're on a hunt. Find and finish off the last of our opponents. They will not escape our wrath. They will feel the wrath of GDI for this gratuitous attack on a civilian village.
Yes, sir.
Once again, showing how the
Affirmative.
plot of the first Command and Conquer really just GDI are the good guys, Nod are the bad guys. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Enough! Enough of this track. Okay. Alright, so there's an enemy here.
Waiting order.
No, I didn't want you guys to move. I was just trying to select you. Wait, is that an enemy?
Unit moving out.
Okay, yeah, they're enemies.
Affirmative.
For a second, they almost looked like civilians, and I was like, what? Okay, was that the last of our enemies?
Mission.
Yes.
War-torn Bialystok. Once a happy farming town for peace-loving peasants. Today, a slaughterhouse. Yet one more casualty in the insane GDI assault against mankind. Yet another in a series of villages wiped off the earth by the Global Defense Initiative and its misguided leader, General Mark Shepard. And what crime did Bialystok commit to warrant said carnage? Sources indicate that GDI terrorists were convinced that this simple hamlet was involved in the manufacture and shipping of Tiberium. When will this madness end? Only when General Shepard and his vision of one world order is stopped. This is Greg Burdett, Bialystok.
Cut. Excellent. Now, do it again in French and German. I want 300 copies made and sent to every TV station in Europe. We have the satellite for another 10 minutes. Is that camera still running?
And now you see why I wanted to save that post-mission video for after we did that variation of this mission. Makes a lot more sense since we just had that fight in Bialystok. So it appears that the whole reason Nod decided to start a fight in that village was so that they could run this propaganda piece, making it look like GDI was just going around torching this hamlet for no apparent reason. Now, ordinarily, it is the institutional authorities, governments, that manipulate and control the media to push their propaganda. In an interesting reversal in this game, it's actually Kane, the terrorist leader, who has more control over the media and gets them to push propaganda on his behalf. It's a little strange, but that's the way things are here. So, we as GDR are going to have to contend with that particular issue, and that is a plot point that is going to come back to bite us in a big way. So, we'll see the fallout from Kane's media manipulation starting in the next mission as we begin doing the variations of GDI Mission 5. Hopefully you'll join me for that, and I will see you then.